Okay, so we got the new iPad here, also known as the iPad 3rd generation. I'll just roll down some of the specs here before we get started and showing you some of the new features. On the front we have the 0.3 megapixel camera. It's still a VGA camera, just like the iPad 2 and the iPhone 4. People were expecting it to be upgraded to 0.9 megapixels like the 4S, but unfortunately that's obviously going to be coming in a later generation of iPad. On the right hand side we have the volume rocker or volume slider, depending on your terminology. We also have the little switch that you can flick to lock or mute the iPad, depending on your settings in iOS settings menu. You have the sleep-wake button here, which you're able to sleep and wake your iPad with. You have the 5 megapixel camera, which is brand new, which compared to the iPad 2 is pretty good. The iPad 2 has a 1.3 megapixel camera and doesn't have the advanced optics that the iPhone 4S has, whereas this has the optics of the iPhone 4S along with the improved 5 megapixels over 1.3. We have the cellular bands and the wireless technology in here. As a large set of wireless technology compatibility now, huge improvement over the iPad 2. It has LTE, it has 4G, it has the 3G+, it has the HSDPA. There's a huge amount of improvement there. There's also the 3.5mm headphone jack, which you can use to listen to music with. And you've also got the SIM slot here with the little ejection point, because this is the Wi-Fi and 4G version of the new iPad. There's also the typical 30-pin connector dock, along with the home button, just to turn on the display. And back on the rear side again, right down the bottom, we have a mono speaker. Unfortunately, it's still the same as the iPad 2. There was an improvement in the speaker like some people were wanting, but again, something that obviously will eventually, hopefully, get a dual speaker with. But that's the iPad from the exterior. Not a lot has changed. It's still the same as the iPad 2 in terms of just its general appearance. With the exception of the camera, it's got a slightly larger diameter. It's also a slightly thicker device as well. It's a little bit thicker than the iPad 2 was, and also slightly heavier. But that's because it has a huge battery, because it's still able to get the 10 hours of battery life, even though it has a huge amount of improvements internally. And, but yeah. So let's just show off the Retina display then. And that's the main feature that Apple has put into the new iPad. The Retina display that has 3 million pixels, and 3.1 million, sorry, and that's 1 million more than your full HD TV, which is a 1080p for its resolution. So all the text on here is incredibly sharp, and if you've been using a Retina display on the iPod Touch, you know how sharp it is. It's virtually the same experience on the iPad, even though the PPI, pixels per inch, is slightly lower because you hold the iPad further away. If I go into Infinity Blade 2, this really shows off the Retina display because it's been upgraded for the iPad, the new iPad. And it also shows off the brand new A5X processor. The A5X processor, although it has an improvement in the graphics, it's now got quad-core graphics, the first tablet to have quad-core graphics. There's no real processing power improvement, but the iPad is still very fast and very responsive after using it for 2 weeks. I'm just amazed by the amount of detail you can get in here from the Retina display and from that quad-core graphics chip, which really is really superior over the NVIDIA Tegra 2 they're found in other tablets. This iPad is very much a powerhouse. So yes, you can see with the apps that have been upgraded for the Retina display, there's no pixels that you can actually see. It's perfect. It looks like a real animated image. It's incredibly beautiful. The colours are more vibrant, as you can see there, and it's just overall really tremendous. The LED backlighting there is able to show more colours on the screen, and you're able to get a lot of good HD content. This is very much so dubbed an iPad HD over the iPad 2 because it has so many HD features, or high definition. But of course, one of the things I'd like to show to you now is the photos, and you get 1080p video recording on the new iPad compared to 720p on the iPad 2. It's quite impressive, and it looks really good. The quality of the video is very superb, and is perfect to be able to play it back on a display that's able to show 1080p so well, because it has a resolution of greater than 1080p. So it's pixel for pixel. If I go and show off some of the speed tests, you know that the new iPad has 4G LTE as well. However, in Australia we can only get 3G on the Telstra network now, but we do get 3G dual band, so it's faster than what the iPad 2's 3G will be. So let's just show that off using speed test here, and hopefully we'll get a decent download speed. As you can see, we're getting well above 10 megabits per second there. We're getting 14.3, which is very, very fast, and especially because all of that new networking is now in the new iPad. It's just, it's, as I said before, it's literally a powerhouse, and that's what you really experience when you use the iPad, that you have all this power, especially in the new iPad. Photos, they are taken using a same camera, same optics in the camera as the iPhone 4S. Although it's only a 5 megapixel camera, you can see, look at the tremendous detail there. The 5-element lens is able to pull in a lot more light, along with the aperture, which is wider, and you're able to get 70% more light per pixels. And because this display is a retina display, you get immense quality. You can barely see pixels in these photos. It's incredible. This is probably one of the best photo viewing experiences you'll ever experience on a post-PC device. And when it's partnered with the best screen on a post-PC device, it's just incredible. But yeah, it's incredibly responsive, just as the iPad 2 was. There's no real speed improvements from processing. All of it comes down to the graphics, because you're driving this huge retina display, so it's going to need a lot more power. Siri dictation is another feature that I'd like to show to you today. And I'll just bring up the keyboard here. When you tap the microphone, just like the 4S, this has got Siri dictation. It doesn't have the Siri virtual assistant that everybody loves though, unfortunately, because it's not really an iPad thing to be having a virtual assistant. But with Siri dictation, I can declare a message. Hello. And unfortunately, my voice is obviously not that good to do dictation. I'll try it again. This is the new iPad. Yep. But generally Siri dictation works quite well. So that's really the new iPad. It is quite a fun device. It has a huge amount of feature improvements over the last generation. It's really the best upgrade for original iPad users who are only on 256 meg of RAM, because something that was improved, although the processor speed wasn't, was the RAM, which is now double again from 512 in the iPad 2 to 1 whole gig in the new iPad. So if you want this, especially the new iPad owners, the old iPad owners of the first gen, it is an incredible update to get. iPad 2 owners may be interested in upgrading. I know that some iPad 2 owners, especially in America, have been upgrading because they love the Retina display and they love the optics in the new device. It's been quite a major update. Some would argue that some of the key features, such as the FaceTime camera and the speaker, really should have been updated as well. But you do get quite a bit here, and it's an incredible price point, starting at $499 US for the 16 gig Wi-Fi. It's a very impressive tablet for that price. So I'd rate the new iPad 4.5 stars out of 5. It is a very good device, and I know you'll love it if you get one. So thanks for watching. Please leave any comments below. That's the new iPad.